Hi there, I'm Joe McIndo and welcome to McIndo How To, the channel that's here to help. Get the cheesy tagline in there now. Today I'm just going to start off the channel by talking to you about Wimbledon, basically. Well, the Wimbledon Tennis Championships. And basically, you know, it's a British institution. You know, every year you think summer's here, tennis, strawberries and cream, Wimbledon, Britain getting knocked out in the first round. You know, it's a classic. And you know, you might be thinking, well, I want to go to Wimbledon, but you know, I haven't got tickets in advance. What can I do? Well, I have a solution for you. And you might even get on centre court, because I went there last year and I got on centre court, which I was pretty chuffed about. And so you might be thinking, how do I get tickets? Well, you will have to queue up pretty early. The tennis starts on Monday, the 25th, he says, but it's Monday the 25th of June. And my best suggestion, the website for the championships basically suggests that you queue up about 7:30 in the morning, which is going to be a bit tricky for those that don't live in London, because you've got to get train up there, and it's going to. But if you're really committed, you would want to camp beforehand, and there are ways to do it, and Wimbledon will help you out with it a little bit. But yeah, but for me, I would just travel up really early, get a nice early train up to Waterloo, and from 7:30 in the morning, the stewards will hand out wristbands or card things that will tell you your place in the queue. And even though they sell, you know, centre court tickets and court 1 tickets beforehand, you can still get them on the day, but they are limited, as I say. So what you want to do, you want to get there early, and if you are lucky, you will get a centre court ticket if you want one, or a court 1, but you must get there early and hope. And I think my Wimbledon centre court ticket cost me £42, which isn't really, it's not that bad at all. I went up there a little bit naive last year, because I thought, you know, I'm just going to go for a ground pass, which we'll get onto. I was not expecting to get Wimbledon tickets, because I was told, no, they're sold out. Centre court tickets is what I mean. And so I should say now that I'm disabled, so it's slightly different for me, and we'll get onto that as well in a second. Yeah, so you can either go that way, or if you can't get centre court or main court tickets, you can always go for what we call a ground pass, which will get you, I think that costs about 20 odd quid, but you'll have to check that, 20 odd pound. And you basically can go around all the courts, apart from centre court, court 1, and maybe court 2. But other than those, from what I know, you can pretty much go everywhere else. And you know, there's been some good games on the lesser courts. I think they set the record for the longest ever Wimbledon match there on one of the smaller courts. But yeah, so it's pretty straightforward to get a ground pass. I think you just go up, you get in the queue, you are given a number, you take a number as it is, and you will get your ground pass, and you can stroll round. But the good thing about that is that from about 5 o'clock, or at a certain time, if you really want to get into the show courts, well, people hand their tickets back after a certain time. if they want to leave, you know, say they really want to get back for some bizarre reason, I don't know why you would leave, but say you want to leave, then you, from about a certain time, can get into centre court, court 1, and see a bit of tennis for, you know, a pretty cheap amount. I think it could be a fiver. And so that's pretty cool, if you're willing to queue again later on that evening. There are some ground rules to the queue. You cannot simply turn up to the queue, stand there for 5 minutes, and then wander off. You've got to stay in the queue, this isn't transferable, so you can't get a queue pass on Tuesday, and then come back on the Wednesday when it's quieter and skip the queue. Does that make sense? So you can't do that. So you must stay in the queue. And I don't believe that you can. A normal person cannot simply get somebody else to reserve the place, as I know. Okay, so that's pretty much the ground rules. Now, let's talk about disabled access. It's slightly different, as I say. The ground rules for that are that they recommend, as I remember, that you ring up, if you've never been to Wimbledon, ring up and talk to them about what they suggest, because, you know, for getting around, and I will try and help you out now, but for the best thing I suggest is ring up Wimbledon and get their advice. But the long and short of it is that when you get to Wimbledon, the best bet is for you to go across to the disabled tent, and from my experience last year, they have a policy where if you are disabled, somebody else will stand in the queue for you. They were happy to do that. I would suggest ringing Wimbledon to make sure that policy is still true, but which is pretty good, because you then don't have to you don't have to sit in the queue for ages and ages. You can just wait patiently, which is pretty good. Save getting bumped around. It was pretty good for me, because I turned up at seemingly a reasonable time in the day. I think it was about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I got centre court tickets. But I want to say now that please do not assume that you can just turn up and get centre court tickets. I got lucky. You know, as I say, there is only a certain allocation, and as I say, you know, you do get lucky occasionally. But that's pretty much the long and short of it. I think you still have to pay the same price as everyone else. I would assume that a carer gets in free, but again, check Wimbledon. And that is pretty much it. And if you want to camp, you can do it, and there is storage facilities, he says, but be careful you don't leave your stuff, because otherwise you risk not getting it back, and you have to contact Wimbledon to arrange pickup and collection. But that is pretty much it. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that you enjoy the championships, and hopefully, this is a bit biased, hopefully Andy Murray will actually turn up and do reasonably well this year, rather than hold up the traditional rubbish Britain. Anyway, thanks for watching, and feel free to subscribe, leave comments, let me know how I've done for the first help guide, and thanks for watching.